So over the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks here in the UK, if you're from here, you'll probably know all about it. There's been a hell of a lot of rainfall, and the Lake District has also been quite hard hit. And where I've parked my car in that direction, down towards Rydal Water, there's actually a river that runs in between Grasmere here and Rydal Water. I believe it's called the River Rothay, and it's burst its banks, and it's not great down there. There's a lot of just the normal walking tracks that are completely flooded. There is waterlogged fields. It's actually pretty crazy. It's like a lot of the paths have just turned into rushing streams, but I finally made it over that particular river now, and I'm currently on Loughrig Terrace, and I wanted to quickly show you. This is quite interesting. By the way, this is one of my favourite views in the whole of the Lake District. Looking over Grasmere, this has been one of my favourite vistas since before I was properly into landscape photography or anything, to be honest. But this particular fell here, he is called Helm Crag, and if you have followed me for the past couple of months at least, you'll remember we had a beautiful sunrise shoot up there, and I got that image of the lion and the lamb. We had an incredibly intense, vibrant sunrise, and probably still my favourite photograph this year, so I thought it'd be pretty cool to show you it from, you know, the other side. And Grasmere itself, this lake, was actually in that photograph, so that's pretty cool. And as the title of this video suggests, I wanted to talk a little bit about my tripod as well. What I will say at this stage is that I haven't got it with me. I'm going to be tripodless for today's photography adventure, and I'll get in as to why that is. I'll get into that. It's all quite interesting. There's just, I don't know, just a few realizations over the past 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm sure you're going to find it quite interesting, and I'd love to hear all your opinions, of course. But yeah, I'm en route up to the ever popular, gorgeous Loughrig Fell, and as always, I would love for you guys to join me. So, let's crack on. Right, so I've just taken a couple of photographs looking back towards Grasmere, but first I wanted to explain to you guys, why have I not got my tripod? What am I doing? So I always say on this channel how much I love using my tripod, even when I know I don't need to use it, and that's something that will continue, don't get me wrong. I love the tactileness of using it, extending the legs, banging the camera on the top of it, and just taking my time and, you know, slowing down, really thinking about my composition. There's something about using a tripod that I just absolutely love. Now, I released a video last week. A lot of you will have seen it, and basically, to put it simply, I missed out on some spectacular light down the Borrowdale Valley because I wasn't willing to even entertain the idea of shooting handheld. I needed to get my tripod out, and as I was setting the tripod up, the light went and I missed the light, and it proper wound me up, to be honest. And over the next few days, it just really got me thinking, you know what? I think I've become shackled to my tripod. I'm imprisoned by it. And I kind of thought, you know, the next time I'm going to go out, I'm not even going to take my tripod with me. I'm just going to shoot handheld, bump my ISO up if I need to, and that's pretty much kind of what today's all about. And that's one of the reasons why I've come out without my tripod today. So I've just taken 2 photographs, one with my long lens, the 55-200, shot, zoomed in right at 200mm. ISO 640 and f5.6, that gave me a shutter speed of 1/800th of a second. This particular lens hasn't got vibration reduction, so I don't like to shoot at too slow of a shutter speed, but that 1/800th of a second is going to be fine. Basically, looking back towards the north, past Helm Crag, we had some beautiful, beautiful light down this valley here. It's completely changed now. But I wouldn't have grabbed the shot if I would have messed about with a tripod. Simple as that. And I'll be interested to see how it comes out. I don't think it's going to be incredibly sharp. You know, maybe you guys can be the judge of that. Let me know what you think. I'll pop that image up for you to see in a sec. Second image I got was with my 16-35 lens, zoomed all the way out at 16mm, nice and wide, pretty much just grabbing a shot of this vista over Grasmere that I introduced you guys to at the start of the video. And what we had was this incredible weather front in the north coming over. I was getting battered by hailstones, but it was absolutely beautiful, and it didn't last for long, so I don't know if I'd have got it if I'd have messed about with the tripod as well. But what we had as well right at the top of the frame was a little bit of blue sky, so it kind of sums up the Lake District and really does tell a story of these beautiful conditions we've got today as well. So a little bit of a snapshot of the vista, I do believe, and also a little bit of a snapshot of the weather front, but I think it's going to be nice. That shot was taken, this particular lens has got vibration reduction, so I'm confident in reducing that shutter speed a little bit as well, or increasing the shutter speed, sorry, to a longer one. ISO 100, interestingly, I didn't even have to bump the ISO up, f6.3, and the shutter speed was 1/100th of a second, and I'm confident shooting at that shutter speed with this lens with VR on, that's also going to be nice and sharp. So in theory, there should be two really nice photographs, and they should be pretty sharp. So we'll see how they turn out. I'll pop them up for you guys to see now. I hope you like them. Then we're going to crack on further up Loughrig Fell and see what other handheld shots we can find. So the winds were forecast, and they've not been too bad up until now. I was wondering where they were, if you can even hear me anyway. But I'm at the summit of Loughrig Fell. Oh God, first thing I'm going to do is get down from the summit of Loughrig Fell, because there's another reason why I've come to this particular location. Let's get the hell off here and have a chat. Right, so as I was saying there, or trying to say, before I was rudely interrupted by that Cumbrian wind, there is another reason why I've come to this particular location today, and that is because I've got a one-to-one workshop coming up here within the next few days. And even though I know this area really well, I just kind of wanted to come here and freshen up my ideas a little bit, have a little look round with a bit more finer detail, see if it's as photogenic as I remember, and it definitely is. Loughrig Fell's awesome, and it's pretty accessible. It's only a really small fell, but you get some incredible sort of panoramic views once you get to the top, as long as you haven't got 60-mile-an-hour winds nearly blowing you off the top. But yeah, that's another reason why I've come here. And I just wanted to briefly mention, if you wanted to book me for a one-to-one, maybe for summer or something like that, I'm starting to get booked up, which is fantastic news for me, really encouraging of course. But I'd say try and get in sooner rather than later, because there's a few sporadic dates knocking up now where I am booked up for summer, which I assume is going to be a bit of a busier time. So just wanted to let you guys know. So if you did want to book one, the link to my one-to-one workshop page will be in the description below. Anyway, it's going pretty well so far, and I'm enjoying not being shackled by the tripod. I did take another shot before. I just couldn't really be bothered stopping and explaining it to you guys, because it's just a lot more simpler when you don't have your tripod. You just get your camera out and take a shot of something that looks pleasant. So it was a nice lone tree, and hopefully that one came out alright as well. It was actually back when we were looking over Grasmere. So I'll pop that one up for you guys to see now, and I'm going to continue exploring. Sunset's in about an hour, so we should have enough light. I'd like to get another photograph, obviously handheld, before the adventure's over. So let us crack on. Right, Right, so I've pretty much come full circle. I'm back down in the woodland quite close to where I've parked the car, and I'm definitely back down from Loughrig Fell, and the light's started to fade a little bit and it's not particularly interesting at the minute. Anyway, there was another reason to why I wanted to give it a try today without a tripod, and if you watched my previous video where I was just everywhere really, wasn't I? I started the morning in the woodlands, then we picked up some framed prints, and then we went out to the coast. When I was down at the coast, I met another photographer, a younger lad, and I think he was more into street photography. His name was Luke, and I'll put his Instagram handle, tag name in the video description below if you want to go and check him out. But yeah, I think he was more into street photography. And basically we just got chatting about everything about, you know, photography, and we disagreed on a lot, not disagreed, we had sort of opposing opinions on a lot of things, but in a real positive way, you know. It was quite nice and refreshing, and one of those things was tripods. He said he never uses tripods, he doesn't like them, and I was kind of like, oh my god, like I always use my tripod, and I use it, like I said to you guys, I use it when I know I don't even need it technically. And it was a nice little chat, but I don't know, it was quite refreshing. Like, he just had a Fuji, he had a neck strap, he had it around his neck, and I don't think he even had a bag, and I think, yeah, I could admit I was kind of envious. He looked quite free and he was just snapping away, and I'll put a few of his snaps from that very evening up on the screen here, if you'll let me. If not, this is just a nice little blank area of woodland. But yeah, I don't know, it just kind of opened my eyes a little bit, and again, just kind of gave me that motivation to think, well, what if I just go out without my tripod and shoot handheld? And that's kind of what this video's all been about, I suppose. And I'm going to say it's a success. I haven't necessarily come out with photographs that I'm absolutely delighted with. I'm not over the moon with them, but in terms of how it's loosened me up a bit, you know, I've felt a little bit more freedom out with the old camera, and I think overall it's made me realise that in moments like in that video where I missed the light, I don't need to always get my tripod out. Even if I've got it with me, I don't need to always use it. So I think that itself going forward is going to be worth its weight in gold for me personally, and I really hope that's helped you guys out as well. Like, I think tripods are a really important tool for landscape photographers. However, they're not 100% essential to get decent images. So, with that being said, I'm not going to take any more images because it's gone very flat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe if you are new. As always, give the video a like if you have a second. And what's the other one? Comment below. Comment below. I always love hearing from you guys. Thanks again, and cheers for the support. See you on the next one. Out.